So this is what I have got here today. Do. Guess what? I am so stupid that I didn't realize I had to prepare before making this video. But make sure you keep it a secret. I don't want it leaked, okay? Okay, so let's begin. What I have here is one of my favorite books that I read the past month, and I really love this. If you remember, in the first book haul and the first video ever on our channel, this book was there, and actually that video was made before 2017. That is in the end of 2016. Therefore, I'd bought it at that time, and I wanted to read it, and due to my vacations I got the time and I read it, and I really loved it. And seriously, it's one of those books that you just cherish in your life. Okay, so let me just, for the sake of beginning with this, I'll just turn it and show you the summary. So here we go with the summary. I'm gonna read it, although I know I shouldn't because you can read it yourself, but yeah. After one of their identical twin daughters, Lydia, dies in an accident, Angus and Sarah Moorcroft move to a remote Scottish island hoping to mend their shattered lives. But when their surviving child, Kirsty, claims they have mistaken her identity, that she in fact is Lydia, the world comes crashing down. They know one of their daughters died, but can they be sure which one? Okay, so this is so beautiful. Like, it's okay. So let me just tell you something. You notice how I am so bad at pronouncing stuff, and how I am like trying to fake an accent and stuff like that. But seriously, it's just so annoying for me myself too. I can understand if it's annoying for you. Really, I can. But मेरी ज़िंदगी का एक मसला ये भी है. So yeah, never mind. Well, so in this book, we start with where does this begin? Let's just talk about where it begins, because I don't want it to be really very boring and about me saying stuff and all that stuff. I would never read the author's note because I never. Okay, so this picture. So they used to show this picture all the bloody time, and I really like this part because you know what? It's a lighthouse where they move to. Like, so after this girl dies, one of these girls, and the one of the twins die, so their parents have to move to this lighthouse because they want to escape the world. They kind of want to escape the world because they're like saddened, right? So yeah, so they kind of just move. So this is the lighthouse where they move to, and seriously, it's like really nice to imagine that place. And when I read that book, I was all in that mood. Our chairs are placed precisely 2 years apart. Okay, so I have something very nice to do with this part because, okay, so I'm going to do something really, really stupid after like a few minutes or a few seconds, but let's just continue on with what I'm doing, okay? So, as this is supposed to be like a nice and appropriate video, what I'm going to talk about is that it's not just that I love this book, the reasons basically. Okay, so there is some kind of criticism that I have for this book. Let me begin with the good points though. So the good point about this one is that as you can see, so the both of these are twins, identical twins, and one of this question arises in everyone's mind, that how to separate the two. Like, but then whenever I have twins in my own family, and they're my like cousins, my first cousins, and whenever I'm like I'm always unsure who the one is, right? So I just ask their mother and she knows. So, but I never get it, that how does the mother always know? Like, how does she always know? And in this book, it kind of confirmed my suspicion that mothers literally don't know, because it's seriously, the mother has been thinking that it's like, it's Kirsty that's alive and Lydia has died, but in reality, but then it's not even, yeah, it is reality, but then again, then she gets to know that like there's a lot more, and then at the end of the day, when Kirsty starts like, I mean, not the end of the day, but then after some time passes, Kirsty starts acting like okay, wait, I can't just reveal the whole story, can I? No, that would be a really bad thing for someone who hasn't read the book. So you have to read the book. There won't be any spoilers in this one. Okay, so basically, it shows how confused a mother can be. Okay, so the good point is that it shows something which we never see. Something that we never think about. something that mostly we just blindly believe in. So it is something that just rose this question in my mind and made me like feel a little more annoyed about this, that how can this like be true, right? And that's, yeah. So this is what happened. And then the second thing was that when I thought about it again, okay, so when I think about it, it's like I'm a kind of like okay, so this is dumb, yeah, because that is one of the criticisms that I have for this book. Because I feel like there is I mean, I'm not one of those people who feel connections or emotions and stuff. I mean, I have a heart, but you don't really get those stuff. But then you see mothers around you and they're like, they just know everything and stuff like that. So I feel somehow the story is too much about rationality and less about emotion, right? So it does not really show how a mother can know stuff, how a mother has the power which no mind can manipulate, right? So it kind of rejects that part of the story. It does not tell us how like a mother cannot mistake anything like that. And then the story is more based upon motherly love being favored to one child and another. That's one of the issues that she picked up, and I really like that part. Because this is one of the issues that are emerging in our society. Like where I live, I can see it. Like everybody, every time there's like, especially in Pakistan, most of the families, they favor some of their children more than others. Like if you are a child, if you're a girl basically, and if you're prettier than your sister, you're favored more by your mom. If you're a son and you're more intelligent than your brother, then you're favored more by your dad. So kind of this just kind of creates an issue. Like so the person who's not really favored and who's not really loved as much as the other one feels inferior, and it can be like it's really bad. It can turn out this bad, and this shows how bad it can turn out, right? So that's one of the problems that she just talked about, and it's really nice. But then I have criticism against that too. And the criticism against that is that, okay, so I get it that she did that. I get it that I get it that she presented a very nice part of the society. But what I don't get is that how the relationship between the mother and the father is really shattered, right? So it's like all in pieces. So it's very, very shattered. The way she made it all look like was that the mother was responsible for every single thing, right? So the mother had affairs and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm not going to reveal everything. I wasn't supposed to. Sorry. So just the problem is that like it's when you go into the story, you understand that, okay, she's blaming most of the things. You start to feel like that. When you're reading the book, when you end the book, you'll be like, okay, so the mother was an idiot and she was doing stuff that affected her children. But then you just calm down, you just take a cup of coffee and you just have it, and then you think about it once again. And then you're like, no, it's not really the mother, it's just the whole relationships thing, right? So it's just somehow both of them are responsible for what happened. And then somehow, maybe the way they raise their child, maybe there is something else, some other part of the story that's missing. So this is one of the stories that can make you think. So it made me think, and I am still thinking, there might be some parts of the story that are missing. And the ending, I have a lot of criticism against that. I mean, I get it, you ended the story, it's like but I don't get it, it's a happy ending or a sad ending. I mean, I don't want to be happy or sad. I don't want to be either way. I just know it's ended. I don't know what happened. So it's kind of that kind of an ending. So I don't know what to feel right now. So I just don't, I mean, if it were a sad ending, I wouldn't be like so, but because someone dies, you need to know the reason. But if you don't know the reason, you can't really judge if it was sad that they died or if it was a good thing that they died. Because sometimes people die for themselves, they sacrifice. Or sometimes they just die. Sometimes they sacrifice for others. When they sacrifice for others, you don't really get, you get really more saddened about it. But when they're just dead, a person who committed like a lot of mistakes, they die. You'll be like, okay, fine, she died. She deserved death. But then there is a difference, right? So yeah, one of those things. So I'm not really very good about like in reviewing the books, and I'm still gonna say this book is really amazing. I would rate it 4 on 5 because it's really amazing. But then again, there are some things that I'm confused about, and maybe most of you aren't. So if you aren't, and if you have read this book, and if you want to say something, you can say that in the comment. I wouldn't mind. Really, I really want to know more about this book. It's like one of those books that has gripped me. Okay, so thank you so much. And then there's another one coming our way. Dun dun dun. Okay, so this book is okay, so I'm not going to, you know, like, talk about how good, beautiful, everything. Yeah, because seriously, I can't really find anything to criticize even. Okay, so let's begin with the good points. Like always. So the good point I have right now with me is that this book is like, okay, so this is a sequel to A Court of Thorns and Roses. I don't have that book right now with me because I gave it away. Okay, not gonna reveal all the secrets of my life to you. जिंदगी में कुछ चीजें छुपी हुई ही अच्छी होती हैं. Oh, that was pretty typical. Seriously, I hope you don't understand that. Okay, fine, sorry. Okay. So yeah, so we have this, and okay, so sorry. Okay, so this is when the nice thing is that I'm inserting so much Urdu. Never mind. Urdu हमारी कौमी ज़बान है. Sorry. In this book. So in the first book, what happened was that okay, so this is going to be spoiler, but how do I do it without spoilers? Okay, I'm gonna try doing it not without spoilers, like, yeah, I'm gonna try. Okay, so the first book, there's this hero, there's this heroine, and then I kind of feel that it's really nice that bringing this kind of a sequel is like the best thing an author can do. Because firstly, the book was itself very nice. Really very nice, and I had really high expectations for the sequel, and I believe that most of the readers had high expectations about the sequel, and they were waiting for something new, something different, something even better. And this did turn out better. Not only in the size, but also in the way that it was written, in the beautiful way that it was written, and how nice it is. And like, it's just amazing. Seriously. It's just like really very amazing. So this book basically was about, it continued the story, yet it kind of discontinued what had been happening. So the one thing I would like to say that I really loved about it was the heroine. Because the main thing about the heroine was not her beauty. It really wasn't. It wasn't some shitty romance book written by some shitty author. Sorry, I am not supposed to use bad language. Okay, I'm really sorry. I'm really very sorry. Shoot. Okay, so it wasn't some oh my god, what's wrong with me? Okay, so this wasn't some dumb book written by some dumb writer, and this was really good because of the character, right? So the character, she was really strong female. She was the one who fought. And I saw that in this book, it was the male who was weakened and the female who was strengthened. Okay, so it may seem a little feminist of me to say something like this, but then again, it is something that showed a different picture to the world. Something else. As this is fantasy, it was a completely new world. And it showed that just the same way, okay, so everyone analyzes stuff in their own manner. But I analyze it in such a way that if something can happen in another world in a very different way, why cannot it happen in our world in a different way too? Because when you look at this, when you read the fictional stories, when you read fictional stories, and when you read non-fiction, when you read stuff that can happen like in reality, and when you read stuff about people who, like, about female who rise, it's just like simply rising and doing stuff and, you know, just liberating others. That's really nice because that's something that happens in the realistic world. But here she fought and she had all these powers and stuff. This is more of a superhero kind. And to be very honest, it can never happen, right? Because it's not like, it's fantasy. But then again, it's really nice to see something like this happening, because this is what we want to see. This is what we love to see. This is something we have been craving to see since a very long time. So I think this is something we should really cherish, a female character with such a role. And then the second thing I really loved about this was her choice. So the choice of the women, so she chooses not to be with someone. She chooses to be she chooses to be herself. She chooses to fight. She chooses, okay, so if I were in her place, I would have been that person who would have stopped fighting. And because I'm literally, I mean, don't even put me in that situation. She's like my damn hero. She is a hero for me. Like one of those people who just present heroism to you. So she's one of those. Because if I had been there, I wouldn't be anything like that. I would just have been some person just, I would have escaped this situation after whatever happened. The first book and the end of everything. So yeah, even if the first book happened. But she chooses to do stuff, and she chooses to fight on. She chooses to fight for what she had been fighting for. Because she knows that now that she has started, now that she has more power, why should she stop? So she's not one of those people who waste stuff. So yeah, this can be a lesson for people who really need to learn that you don't have to stop, right? There is no way you can stop. Like, even if there's everybody stopping you, you just have some way out. You just have to have some way out. Because there's nothing stopping you from what you have. You have to do it. You have to use it. Whatever you have, just go on with it. Get out of your limit circle and stuff like that. I mean, make boundaries for yourself, but just get out of that circle where you can't really use your talents. Everybody has their own. I'm not saying go and fight a war with me. Like, come on. Of course you'll win, because I'm so bad at this. Seriously, I'm even so bad at sports. Like, you won't believe it. Like, you know what? Sometimes I play sports. Like, I play football with my 13-year-old cousins, and I'm 17. And you know what? I never won. I never did. Even if you give me 10 people in my team like me, okay, so you give 10 me, and then you give one that person who's like a 10-year-old and 10 17-year-old mahams, they can't beat them. Seriously, I'm so dumb. Well, let's not talk about me, because I'm really boring and a dumb person. So it would only get annoying. Never mind, back to the book. So another thing. Okay, so what I really liked again was Raisan too. Raisan characters. I really loved his character. I just loved his character. This was one of those heroes, one of those guys that I seriously like. I just read this book. Okay, so I didn't want to criticize this book. So I'm not gonna name this one, but I finished this book, and it had the hero. I did not like it at all, because the hero was so weak. He was so indecisive. He was so weird, but because he just fell in love with the girl, and he's just so dumb, and he's just been dating so many girls out there. He's just so stupid. I mean, what the are you doing? Never mind. I won't name the book. Not like because, but I don't know. I've been saying such bad things about that book all the time. Like, to everyone I meet, I just keep on saying that. So I'm not going to name it right now. Never mind this book. Okay, so in this book, Raisan is one of those characters, like one of my favorite characters of all the books I've ever read. I can say it's my favorite character. It's my most favorite character. Seriously. Because he is just amazing. The way he supports Fair, the way he's so hidden in himself, the way he's born so much, the way he's been treated, and the way he is just something you need strength for. And a hero needs to be strong, and he is strong. He's really very strong. So yeah. Criticism. So I don't have much criticism right here. But what I do have is that somehow... Why did you end it here, dude? Please continue on. I need the third book. Okay, so I know this is not even criticism, but I seriously cannot say anything. I know this is wrong because every book has some kind of flaws in them, but with this one, I just can't come up with one. I really can't. You tell me to come up with a flaw in like another book, except for Harry Potter also, I'll come up with one. But with this book and with Harry Potter series, I just can't come up with a flaw. I can't, because her language is also appropriate. There's one flaw that I find in almost every book, that she hasn't written beautiful dialogues, beautiful lines, one you could highlight. I could say that about the Ice Twins. But I can't say that about this one because it just has beautiful literature. And I really need good literature to read something. Seriously, I can feel it in myself that since I started A-levels literature, I just can't read a book with not good vocabulary, with not good lines, with not beautiful stuff in it. I can't even, just get it in my head. I just can't. So that's a good change. Good for my health, good for my vocabulary, but still. Okay, so there's one thing I'm going to do. It's going to take me 1 or 2 minutes. I know this video has been really very long, but I'm just going to do that. And I swear I'm not going to take long. Promise, 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 promise. Please don't run away. Please, 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 please don't run away. With this book, should I do that? Oh no, there's no dialogues in here. I want to do the dialogues basically. Let me just take the Ice Twins. I'll just do a bit of dialogue. I'll read the dialogues, okay? You gotta see them. But it can be so lame. Let me just find out something nice. I found it. Well done. For what? That intervention. Next timing? Nice timing. I was worried I was going to deck him. So was I. But we did it, right? We did, darling. We totally did it. But Sarah, I've got to ask just one more time. You're absolutely sure? I know. Yes. But you still think this is the right thing? You really want? You really, truly want to leave all this? Give it up? Sky is so quiet. When a man is tired of London, he's tired of rain. Baba black sheep, I am done. I am sure that if anybody runs away from this channel, like many people would, but like one of the main reasons people would run away would be because of my singing. I know it sucks. I don't even want good singing skills. I don't even want to be a singer, but at least you need to have a good, tolerable voice, but which I seriously lack. Never mind. I hope I don't laugh in front of like this in this video, because if I do, you'd seriously have to put off your headphones if you have some on. And see, this is a warning. Just don't wear headphones while watching my videos. Just check. Okay, so this is my mom. I can't wear headphones. She's gonna speak so loud. She's gonna be so terrible. It's gonna be worst thing ever. But please keep watching these videos because Nawal's videos are hell lot better than me. Another wrong word. Sorry. So her videos are really a lot better than mine. And now that we've created this together channel thingy, all the followers must be because of her video. I can assure anyone. Okay, so yeah, so I just can't really lose all the followers, and then it would be really bad to her. After all, she's my best friend. How can I do that to her, guys? Why are you trying to embarrass me in front of my best friend? Oh my god, it's 24 minutes already. I can't exceed anymore. Sorry, I have to go. I know you won't miss me, but I'll miss you. Goodbye. I love you. Please subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to thumbs up this video. Bye.